Hello everybody, JGC Anime here, and today we are going to be reviewing Season 1 of Mob Psycho 100. The reason I'm only doing Season 1 is quite simple. I haven't watched Season 2. Not because I don't want to, but I'm just not finding the time for it since there's so many different animes I want to check out. But let's not talk about that. Today we're going to be talking about Season 1 of Mob Psycho 100. So without further ado, let's just hop right into this. So, what is the starting plot for the series? Well, the series basically focuses around this character called Mob, or Shigi, I don't know what his name is, but basically we're just gonna call him Mob, and his adventures with his teacher, Regan, who, despite clearly not actually having psychic powers, is trying to guide Mob with using his psychic powers. And they just kind of go around and do a bunch of stuff. A bunch of different things happen throughout the whole season. It's hard not to describe stuff without spoiling anything. So that's all I can really say. And yeah. So let's start with what I like and dislike. I actually really like the action in this show. The action is very well animated. There's so many insane scenes. I cannot believe how well animated they are. It's just insane. This is clearly like One Punch Man levels of quality. I mean, it is the person who made One Punch Man, so I understand that. There were a few things I also kind of disliked. That, like, there were moments where I was just bored. Not because the story itself was bad, but just because I myself am not that invested in, like, solving ghost-esque mysteries that this series kind of throws together with needing the power of psychic powers. And I didn't hate it, but overall I definitely found myself not really enjoying it as much as I probably could have. And I think between this one and One Punch Man, I definitely do like One Punch Man's stories elements a lot more. Also, the comedy, it's good. The comedy is very good. Comparing it to others, it's still pretty good comedy. I got a few chuckles, even a few laugh out loud moments, and I had a very good time watching. And while there are a few characters I really don't like, I don't think there were any like super major issues. Overall though, I still had a very good time, and let's just kind of talk about what I think is some spoiler-free thoughts. As I just mentioned, I think I had a pretty good time. I say I think because I'm not too sure, because upon finishing the season, I didn't really feel much. In fact, I didn't even think I really had a full idea of what I just watched. It wasn't something like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Oh, it's so much better than One Punch Man. No, I didn't get that vibe at all. I was just like, oh, season 1's over. Okay. And I really kind of feel bad because I wanted to really get into this show, but there are several things that I myself personally was not that into. However, I did like a lot of it as well, so it definitely has some interest for me to watch season 2 when I eventually get that chance. But let's just hop into the spoiler section of this review, because I'll be honest, I don't really know what else to describe without going into a few spoiler-esque moments to kind of describe why I don't have a full love for the show like a lot of people seem to have. But yeah, so I'm gonna count down from 5 after here is a timestamp if you want to just skip right past this section. But if you have seen Mob Psycho 100 season 1, I'm fine with you sticking around because I always like hearing people's thoughts in the comments, even though nobody does. But I'm still gonna share my opinion anyway, so let's count down from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so some reasons I wasn't a truly big fan of this was one of the major ones would probably be how Mob is in love with this girl. I get that it's kind of like a comedic bit about how he likes her a lot. However, she doesn't seem to really notice him too much. He's kind of like the nervous, shy kid who wants to get with the popular girl. However, I didn't really care for that. Like, once you took that out of the equation, I actually had a lot of very good, like, I had a very good time while watching this. The only major issues was definitely her, as well as sometimes the storylines were just kind of confusing. For one, I actually really liked Mob in season 1 where he ends up joining a workout club, which I thought was really funny at first, and it's still funny throughout the whole show, especially since they stick with him through thick and thin, and it makes them very interesting characters, and I really grew to like the workout club that he ends up joining. But then there's some stuff that I wasn't as into. Like, the first half of season 1, I actually really enjoyed a lot. I thought it was very funny, it was enjoyable, and I just had a very good time. However, when the second half came along, where they suddenly were going against some evil society, that's when I was just like, eh. Like, there were still some funny moments, especially from the character Regan, or whatever his name is. I thought he was very funny in the final battle, where he just takes Mob's powers unintentionally, but he just takes Mob's powers and just absolutely destroys the villains. I thought that moment was really funny, but other than that, I don't really remember liking it that much. It felt a lot like the one arc in One Piece which I've been watching One Piece recently. There's this one arc in One Piece where they're trapped somewhere and it ends up taking a bit longer than I prefer for them to get out of there. I think it took them like 12 or so episodes, which is probably one of the shortest times it took to escape something from One Piece. But overall, this one wasn't terribly balanced, or not like, it wasn't bad, but I definitely felt like it was kind of Again, it wasn't terrible, but if I had to choose between the first and second half of this, like the first 6 episodes to the second 6 episodes, I did enjoy the first half of it a lot more. Once Mob's brother, Ritsu I think his name is, decided, or not decided, but just got powers, like he got psychic powers like his brother, who's like an OP psychic power guy, because, you know, the characters in this writer's story seem to always have to have some kind of overpowered ability. I just didn't have the same enjoyment as I did with One Punch Man, whereas One Punch Man had like this big alien invasion at the end that honestly was so entertaining. It's probably one of my favorite little stories right at the end of the season. The ending of this season, like the last 4 or 6 episodes, I don't know how long it was, were very mediocre. I didn't hate them, I didn't love them, I just thought they were fine. And after finishing it all up, I don't fully understand the hype around Mob Psycho 100 at all. Like, it's good action, yes, the animation is great, but to me there's more to a story than good action. For an example, Demon Slayer. I hear a lot of people say that the show is just the most fantastic, amazing, brilliant thing ever. It's just a phenomenal show. You can't have it not on your top 10 list. It's not even on my top 15 because it's fine at best. It's not that great. The story's not that interesting. The only thing it has going for it is its animation, and that's the problem with me. I take story as important as animation. So you may have good animation. It's the same thing with the new show My Dress Up Darling, where yes, the animation is good, but I'm not going to necessarily enjoy it as much as everyone else is because I'm taking the plot seriously. If you have a good plot and good animation like Mushoku Tensei, then yeah, you're good. You can do a really good show. But then there's all these people just constantly raving about Mob Psycho 100, saying it's even better than One Punch Man, or how it's just the next big OP character storyline that everyone loves. But, it's fine. It's okay. I think it's okay, and that's all I can really say. I don't really think there was too much else I could say, but if I had to say my one thing I actually did really like about the show in the spoiler section of this is that, well, I do enjoy the characters a lot. Other than like the girl that Mob has a crush on, every single character in the show is likable. From all the different characters that, except the ghost, I can't remember his name right now, that weird Ghostbusters ghost, that's what I'm just gonna call him. Yeah, I said it. He looks like a Ghostbusters ghost. Other than him and the girl Mob has a crush on, I actually really liked a lot of the characters. From Regan, I actually kind of like Ritsu more than I thought I would. I think his name's Teruki as well. Not as well, but like Teruki, I believe his name is, that they introduced in the first half, who was also really interesting, and the fact that he actually becomes a good guy halfway through. But I had a way better time with the characters in the show than the actual story itself. In my eyes, the only thing that kept this story from being too low was the characters. Like, originally, I had a completely different number, but the characters were just so enjoyable in the show that I just really liked it. Like, at least their interactions, but that's all I can really say, and that's why we're at the conclusion of this video. And my final thoughts are, it's fine, it's okay, it's a little bit, it's better than One Punch Man Season 2 at least. It's fine. I don't think it's any masterpiece of a show, I don't think it's anything terrible, I think it's just fine. Maybe Season 2 is better. I might give it a shot. I have been thinking about it since the announcement of Mob Psycho 100 Season 3. so I probably will give season 2 a shot. But that's all I really have to say, and that's why I rate Mob Psycho 100 season 1 a 6 out of 10. It's fine. The action is good. The characters are the only thing that really makes the show any interesting to me. And overall, I just didn't really like it as much as I was hoping I would. But it was still a decent show, and that's all I can really say. Thank you all for watching. If you're new to the JGC Anime channel and you like what I make, don't forget to subscribe. I always welcome new anime fans to the channel, and that's all I really have to say. Thank you all for listening, and I hope season 2 is better than season 1 because I really want to like Mob Psycho, because same with Demon Slayer, but that's all I really have to say. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all around. Peace!